What's going on, everybody? Before we start the episode, I wanted to give you guys a quick little disclaimer. We recorded this episode last week, which was before John Cena's last match. I had some stuff come up. I wasn't able to edit it and put it out to you guys until now. However, it's good to go now. The 2025 Scoopies are ready for consumption. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode, but I just wanted to let you know if some of the stuff doesn't make sense because of the upload time, that's the reason. So if we mention something about John Cena's last match, just ignore it and just enjoy the 2025 Scoopies.
You're listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the third annual Scoopies. It's the end of 2025. We've got some awards and some disawards to hand out. But before we get too far into anything in our journey, looking through the wild year of 2025, sometimes rather sad year of 2025, as always, my co-host here in his best three-piece suit and a tie, it's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, always good to be here with you. Special occasion, we got the Scoopies. Ready to give out some awards, buddy, and ready to talk about the wild, wild world of 2025 professional wrestling. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's been a year. We've been here for most of it. I think we've taken a month or two here to refresh our palate. It gets a little exhausting, believe it or not. But I did want to throw some quick stats out there to kind of recap the year. So to start us off with our TikTok platform, our followers have went up by 12,000 in 1 year, which I think is crazy because we started the year around like 300, 350. And now we're at about 12.3, and that's just insane to me in like a year. And it's honestly slowed down a lot towards the winter, but like during the summer, man, things were just firing on all cylinders. And then over on Instagram, we've gotten almost 5,500 followers in 1 year. So a total of like 17 to 18,000 followers gained year. So thank you guys so much for all your support. As always, we're super appreciative of it, and make sure you're checking us out there. If you're listening to the pod, make sure you check out our socials. We do a lot of fun stuff there, as well as this weekend we are planning to be live for John Cena's last match on TikTok. So if you are under the sound of my voice and you're not following us on TikTok, make sure you go find us at scoopslammedpod. It'll be in the link description of this episode. But that's enough shilling. It's time for the awards, and we're bringing back the fan vote because I think you guys liked that last time with the middies, and so it gives us kind of a reflection point of what's out there in the wild, wild world of r/squared circle.
So we call it the basement. Me and Micah put it.
Well, sometimes. Most of the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of propaganda that goes on there, but that's neither here nor there. But to start us off, Ryan, for the first award, I'll let you do the honors. I did not have a fan vote, forgot to include it. So this one will just be straight answers, and I'll let you start us off for Best Newcomer to Promotion.
This one was pretty easy to me, Micah. I don't think we can look back at both sides. I mean, mainstream wrestling is AEW, WWE. You can't look objectively and say that this was not Stephanie Vaquer all the way. She debuted, what was that? Was that in February she debuted on the main roster? And by, was that June? She was already world champion? Am I getting my numbers mixed up, Micah?
No, I think you're right. I know I want to say she signed like last October.
Yeah.
But for this award, just in case you guys are new here, we count a new signing to a company, even if they have been like in AEW and they signed to WWE, because Rookie of the Year is hard to give. So this way we can kind of give some fresh faces, but we also include NXT to main roster because it's almost like you're joining a whole separate promotion.
Hey now, no love for the acclaimed show on Tubi, Micah, Evolve? You tell me you're not watching Evolve. You're not watching Cappuccino Jones and I don't know.
If you can't
Who else
name
is on
more
that
than
show?
one person,
Oh
I don't
no,
know what you're doubting.
Nikita. Hold up now, Nikita Lyons is on that show. Come
Oh,
on now,
okay.
you know I keep my eyes on that show, just in
Yeah.
case.
Both eyes on two objects.
Well, okay. Well, what were we talking about?
Best newcomer to promotion. And you had Stephanie Vaquer. I'm kind of surprised because you're not super high on her all the time.
But we got to give her credit, or at least the push she was given credit. They being WWE hardly ever debut somebody, and as soon as they debut, get the rocket strapped to them, and become the world champion of their particular division. There's not a lot of guys or gals that can say that. Stephanie Vaquer, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. Those are the only guys I can think of that have debuted and within 10 or 11 months have become world champion.
I think you got to throw Sheamus in that pile too.
Well, Sheamus debuted in 2008, and well, okay, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Sheamus. I don't want to give it that to him, but sure,
yeah,
Sheamus did.
Sometimes you'll get those stats where you got like LeBron and Tim Duncan, and then it'll be like Thaddeus Young. You're like,
okay, all right, sure.
One of these things is not like the other. But did you have an honorable mention
for newcomer? No, not really. I mean, that's a hard category to the crown, really. I think Stephanie was the front runner, and I don't even know who you can point. Maybe.
Well, I'll say because we had the same winner, which was Stephanie. But for my honorable mentions, I had Ricky Saints from AEW to NXT. I think coming in, becoming NXT champion, that's obviously they see a lot of potential with him. And I think he's had some pretty good matches, feuds with Trick and Oba. I think he had a match with Javon as well that was really good, if I'm remembering correctly. As well as Penta, who started off the year with his debut, and I think he's done a good job. He's kind of stuck in mid card, but he's still over. Like he still gets good reactions. The fans love him. So I think he deserves a nod as well.
That seems to be his ceiling, but I mean, I'm fine with that. He's not gonna be a main event attraction, but he can definitely be a staple to the mid card for another 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Well, that'll move us on to our next award. Drum roll, please. Which is Most Improved. Now, I'm going to start these with the fan vote, and then we'll kind of segue. Either I'll give mine, Ryan can start us off. But for this one, I'll take the lead. The fan vote for Most Improved was a tie, and we have a couple of those. For Dominic Mysterio and Harley Cameron.
What?
That's
Say that. What was that? What was that last night? What was the? You said Dom, and then who?
And Harley Cameron.
Oh man, I can see we're in for a long night. Okay, all right.
So, for me personally, this was a lady who has been in WWE for a while, left, came back. reinvented herself this year, and sadly her run was cut short just when I thought it was really, really picking up steam, and that's Naomi. Now I say all that, it is sad that her run got cut short, but she's going on to do bigger and better things outside of wrestling, so we're super happy for her. Having a kid, big gym, we're getting a little gym, so happy for her, but I thought her run was excellent, and I do hate what happened. Or I guess the timing of it.
What?
You know what I mean?
I'd say you ate the circle of life, Micah. What are you saying?
No. It's just one of those things where it's like, wow, life is times. You know what I mean? Like she said that they had tried all these years, and it happens right now, and she's arguably in the best run. But we wish everything goes well for her, and she comes back just the same, and I'm sure she will. As far as honorable mention goes, for most improved, I got to put Maxine Dupree. Kind of a late entry here, which I don't think, a couple years ago you had her in your middies for most improved, and you're not wrong. You're just early.
That's right. I feel vindicated now that you're justifying my pick, because I went Maxine too.
So I do like the Maxine pick, and I think it says a lot to not only beat Becky Lynch, not only win the Intercontinental Championship, but do it in Madison Square Garden. I mean, the mecca of WWE. It doesn't get bigger than that, and for that, I think she deserves her nod.
Just go back 1 year, Micah. Could you have predicted that Maxine would win the IC title at Madison Square Garden, and it would be a feel-good moment?
Or that would have been she would win the IC title before Chad Gable.
There you go. Yeah. That's funny now, actually, that you just pointed that out. Yeah. But yeah, that's who I got for most improved, Maxine. And I just feel vindicated, Mike. Vindicated for my midi that I gave her 2 years ago.
And it's funny too, because she got over like naturally. You know what I mean? It wasn't a forced push. It just happened. The fans have always liked her, but we've
Nah, wait, run that back. Hold up now. The fans did not like her, because you remember that segment where not segment. It was more like a house show where some people were booing Maxine and chanting, "You can't wrestle," and then all the locker room were sending out tweets saying that it was out of bounds, that they were chanting that. So I think that
I forgot that.
Yeah, that was kind of like got her there's some internet points because people felt bad for her, and she did work hard, man. She's definitely improved in ring. She's a long way away from being a Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair level, but I mean, everybody got to start somewhere, man. And she got thrown into the deep end very early on. She debuted in NXT 2.0, and within 2 or 3 months, she was on the main roster. I don't even think she's had 100 matches yet, Micah. So I mean, where she has been and where she's at now, night and day. And hopefully they can book the IC title reign better than what they did for Julia on SmackDown.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. Because yeah, we'll get to the booking a little later.
Okay.
But as for our next award or disaward or Slammy, where that is trademarked though, all credit goes to WWE. For worst commentator of the year. Now, Ryan, you're not gonna like this one, but the fan vote was Booker T.
Oh, come on, Booker T, really? What has he done?
Well, people hate Booker online, like despise him. One, because he's anti-AEW. Two, because of just they don't like him being loud, whatever. But it's the same reason they don't like McAfee. Like McAfee and Booker have that same kind of energy that they bring to the commentary table, where it's not always like the most astute analysis But they're just
But
fun. They're having a good time out there. And people hate fun, Ryan.
well, Brian Danielson yells through all the matches he commentates over. Why is that a problem with Booker?
I don't know. But I feel the same way about Brian. Like, I liked it at first, but now he kind of gets on my nerves.
Yeah, he just screams. And, like, it's so awkward because the crowd is kind of sitting on their hands. Maybe they go a ooh and a ah if they do, like, a triple Spanish fly through a flaming table. But he's yelling, and then the crowd's just sitting there. It's just awkward. I don't know. I disagree with the Booker analysis, though. I don't think that's justified. And Booker, he's so out the way too. Who's watching NXT every week, man?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Especially the AEW fans. You're lying to me if most AEW fans say they're watching NXT.
Like saying the commentator for ROH is the worst commentator. Like who's watching? Who's seen it?
Who was your pick for worst commentator?
Who was my pick, Micah? Well, I think this is the second year in a row I'm going with Tony Schiavone. Mr. This is great, guys. What a moment. You make a good point, Excalibur. I agree, absolutely. Mr. Schiavone, 2 years in a row. I don't think it's particularly close. I think Schiavone is the biggest waste of space they have out there on commentary. And I was hoping when they brought in Brian Danielson that meant Tony Schiavone was getting the exit, but no, they just added him on to the commentary team. Now they got four guys.
The army of commentary of commentators they have now.
Yeah, so yeah, man, Tony Schiavone's gonna win 2 years in a row for me. Worst commentator out there. Honorable mention. Michael Cole, man. I'm sorry. I'm tired of him. I'm done with him. It just seems like he's constantly missing like easy calls. He's pointing out wrong things. And I don't know. I think he's lost his fastball, Micah, in the last 12 months, especially now that Pat McAfee isn't there all the time. So he doesn't have his buddy to play off of. But yeah, man, Michael Cole's taking his 2025 stunk.
I think that Survivor Series too is a bad way to end it. Because that kind of does feel like the ending moment of the year. I mean, they've got the Cena thing this year, but typically Survivor Series is the bow on the year. And just Survivor Series was an interesting pay-per-view. Well, I'm sure it'll be mentioned later as well. But Cole's commentary did not have not for me, but
yeah, I don't know.
For me, I gotta go Excalibur. I think for the second year in a row for me,
might be 3. I think it's 3 years in a row.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He's won all 3 years.
Schiavone was my honorable mention, but Schiavone is enough out of the way that like he doesn't just aggravate me. It's just like, why is he there? But with Excalibur, man, the freaking laughing, everything's funny. Nothing he says is ever serious to me. I don't care for it. He's been a big detriment to Dynamite in general to me. Now, people out there love him, but I'll just say this. I don't ever see him on the fan vote for best commentator, so evidently that fan base doesn't just think he's amazing either. But speaking of best commentator, we've got the fan vote, Ryan, for Nigel McGuinness for best commentator of 2025.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
And
That's
I'm inclined to agree with him on this one. Anytime Nigel's there listening, I'm enjoying his commentary. I wish he was the main guy on Dynamite. I only really get him sparingly on the pay-per-view. So, but every time he's out there, I enjoy him. Just, what did you say about like it's like the Ring of Honor commentators? You know, it's almost hard to give him the who's listening to it because he's never allowed to be on there. So that's where I'm at with him. But as far as my honorable mention, I got Joe Tess. I enjoy
Oh
him on
yes,
my
sir.
Saturdays. I enjoy him on my Mondays. And so, yeah, I don't know. He's probably not everybody's favorite, but I really like him.
Bro, I think Tess and maybe to a lesser extent Pat McAfee, they kind of sound more like they're giving us a fan's perspective of the event and not really like an insider analysis, which is I actually like that at times. And I think Joe Tess, Pat McAfee, well, he hasn't really been there a lot this year, but yeah, Joe Tess winning my Scoopies because I really do enjoy him, especially now that he's pretty much on all the major ESPN primetime Saturday night broadcasts for college football. It's given me a
Yeah.
new appreciation for him over the last year, listening to him on Saturdays.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, I guess just the way I grew up. I mean, it'd be like hearing JR covering Oklahoma and then hearing him on Monday Night Raw. You know, it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy that's the world we're in now.
yeah.
But next up, Ryan, we've got best non-wrestler. And by year 5, we can probably just start naming some of these after the people that have been repeat winners so many times.
The Paul
But
Heyman Award.
yeah, for the fan vote, they put Paul Heyman. And
Of
Ryan,
course.
who did you have for best non-wrestler?
Well, good job, fans. It's gonna be Paul Heyman for me again. I think he's added a lot to the vision. I wish he would have spoken. Well, whatever. I wish he was a bigger part of the vision earlier on, but we got Seth Rollins overload on promos. If Seth would just step aside and let Paul and Braun Breaker handle this, I think Vision would be thought of a lot different now. But I digress. Paul Heyman, still a very valuable person to the product, and he's still cutting great promos. Good to great on a weekly basis on Monday.
Yeah, I don't think that any of his work this year has topped any of the stuff with the bloodline, but that's a super high bar to jump over. But like you said, he is getting Braun and Bronson over. I think the Logan Paul edition is interesting because he's making it
Great.
work. And whoever else they add, I think Heyman is great as a figurehead of a group. It's literally just the new dangerous. And so for that reason, I picked Heyman as well. For an honorable mention, I had MVP, who I really enjoyed to start the year off, but the booking of the Hurt Syndicate has kind of been questionable in the back half of the year. And so I've seen less and less of MVP. So it only felt right to give Heyman.
Yeah, I agree.
But we got to get back to worse here, ladies and gentlemen. And this one should be fun because I have a catalog of these throughout the year. I've kept it all year. Out of 10, I've asked many times on our pay-per-view reviews, which kind of feels like all we do now because there are so many. But Ryan, what is the worst PLE or pay-per-view of 2025?
Man, worst pay-per-view. I'm gonna go with one that we did not review, and that's Full Gear 2025. To me, Micah, this felt like a glorified collision, just an over bloated card that didn't need to be there, and just self indulgent blood matches, death matches, hardcore matches, street fight matches, back to back to back to back. And I just didn't care for it, man. I'm glad we didn't review it on the pod because it's probably the most forgettable AEW pay per view they've ever done, and for that is my worst pay per view of the year.
Hmm. I'm going to be honest. I never went back and watched this one because you said it was really
You don't need to.
forgettable.
You don't need to.
But I will run down the card just so everybody knows. Pac defeated Darby Allin in the opener. I don't know what I was about to say there.
What?
Which was an
Hold up now.
interesting
Whoa.
choice.
Yeah, because Darby beat the leader of Pac's group the month before in the main
Lost to him.
event. and lost to the job guy in the opening match.
Good booking. Next up, we had a 4-way tag team match with the winning team choosing the stipulation for their semifinal match in the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament.
It was stupid. They had a match before the finals of the match, which they could have had the finals of the match right here on the pay-per-view. Stupid.
Yeah, that don't make much sense. We got the Timeless Love Bombs defeated Babes of Wrath, Sisters of Sin, and Megan Bain and Marina Shafir.
Why don't they get a nickname?
They're not cool enough, apparently. What about what about Death Pegasus? That sounds cool.
Did you just think of that on the fly? That sounds like something they would do.
I channeled my inner John Moxley. Following that, we had a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. FTR defeated Brodito to become AEW World Tag Team Champions.
That was actually pretty good.
A 12-man casino gauntlet match for the inaugural AEW National Championship, where Ricochet won by pinning Kevin Knight.
Bro, nothing but, I kid you not, Michael, nothing but job guys and Bobby Lashley was in this match. And Bobby Lashley disappeared for 95% of this match.
Well,
Ricochet won.
Wonder why.
Yeah. he didn't want to get involved in that, man.
Hey, well, Shelton was in there too. You can't throw Shelton in there with the job guys.
Okay. I give Shelton, Bobby, and a bunch of job guys. And now Ricochet is on ROH. Just tell you what they feel about Ricochet now. He's defending that title on ROH.
Really?
Oh yeah. Sorry, got announced. He's gonna be on that.
I was about to say, don't lump Ricochet in with the job guys, but well,
sure.
Next up, a no holds barred match. Kyle O'Reilly defeated John Moxley by submission. No DQ.
Kyle O'Reilly's been treated like a joke since he's gotten there to AEW, and now he's making the most protected guy in the company tap out. Great booking.
No DQ match.
You know what?
Go ahead.
What? Yeah. You know what? Kyle O'Reilly, man, the most bland guy out there. Why would they book Kyle O'Reilly as the guy to finally make Moxley tap out?
Well, you see, once AEW destroys them, all momentum they have, they rebuild them, and they rise like a phoenix through the ashes of the horrible booking that starts their AEW career off.
You remember all the AEW sickos online during NXT Black and Gold versus AEW when they were running head-to-head on Wednesdays? Remember they were making fun of NXT, but then somehow when the main event guys from NXT during that time period came over to AEW, suddenly we were supposed to treat them like a big stars, even though they were losing to AEW on a weekly basis.
Yeah, that's how the turntables. And then, well, too, it's kind of funny because everybody wondered, like, oh, how could WWE? Well, I mean, if they couldn't beat AEW, but regardless, no DQ match for the AEW TNT Championship. Mark Briscoe defeated Kyle Fletcher. $1 million trios match, of course. Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks defeated Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express.
All the money matches, man. They got a 2025 is the year of the money matches for AEW.
Yeah.
How many of those
are
they run?
All-Star tags.
All-Star tags, yeah.
Chris Statlander defeated Mercedes Moné for the Women's World Championship. And the main event...
crowd was dead for that women's match, by the way.
Oh, well. No, next you're going to tell me grass is green. Samoa Joe defeated Hangman Adam Page in a steel cage match for the AEW World Championship. And then I believe Swerve came back at the end, correct?
He did, doing his best Kane impression. He beat up 12 security guards, and he had new music, and Prince Nana, of course, danced, because, that's what Nana does. He shucks and jives with Swerve coming out there, and we're supposed to think that Swerve's some, badass, and he had a leather jacket on, and now he's friends with Hangman, even though he burned his childhood house down, and just AEW things.
As far as it goes for me, worst PLE of the year, pay-per-view, I'm going to go with AEW Dynasty, which was the only pay-per-view this year that I gave a straight dud. Which you gave it a dud as well, but you had a repeat history of some duds.
Yeah.
But for Dynasty, we've got the men's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal match. Will Ospreay defeated Kevin Knight. A tag team match. Yep, that happened. I was in the room.
Yeah. Okay.
A tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Tree. Or they defeated the Learning Tree.
Oh, God. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Barn burner.
This is deep in the bowels of like bad AEW booking at the start of the year.
Yeah.
The women's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal match was Mercedes Moné defeating Julia Hart.
Oh, no. Okay.
I actually think it wasn't a bad match, but yeah. Following that, a trios match for the AEW World Trios Championship. The Death Riders, Claudio Pack and Wheeler Yuta, defeated Rated FTR, and this is where FTR returned after the match.
Okay. Is that when they pile drove Beth? Nah, that was in another one.
I was about to say, I think that was later.
Yeah.
Timeless Tony Storm defeated Megan Bain, who they had just signed and built up, and just completely killed her push like 2 months in.
Well, sure, maybe she'll bounce back, Micah. Maybe she's the main event act, but what? Never mind.
Maybe she's doing good thing. Yeah, never mind. Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinal match. Kyle Fletcher defeats Mark Briscoe by pinfall. If I had a quarter for every bad WWE pay-per-view that had Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher, I'd have 2 quarters. It's weird that it happened twice.
I'm about to say, didn't we just do this?
Yeah.
How many times did we do this? I think they wrestled 5 times this year, actually.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Again, deep in bad AEW right here. Title versus mask for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Oh, no.
Bandito versus Chris Jericho.
I remember this. Yeah.
Oh. Let's see. How else can we round this one out? For the AEW TNT Championship, Adam Cole defeated Daniel Garcia.
Oh, my God. We watched that?
We did. It was a dud. I'm telling you. 3-way for the AEW International Championship. Kenny Omega defeated Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. I think that was my match of the night.
How many more matches we got?
Only one more.
Okay. Hey, man, we should be on the main event by now.
And for the main event, Jon Moxley defeated Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. And remember, this is when everybody wanted Moxley to lose the belt, and so they were really thinking Swerve was going to do it, and then he didn't, and everyone was pissed.
Well, I remember them being pissed a month later when Adam Copeland didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. No. I think Revolution came before Dynasty.
Was it? Okay.
But I think I liked that one a little bit more than this one, but it wasn't a whole lot.
You hated the ending, though.
Oh, God. That last match was horrible, but I think there was some undercard stuff that was decent. I want to say I gave it like a 3.
Bro, it's just so much that happens on those shows. It's hard to remember what happened on those shows unless you just read it out. Yeah.
Even some of those, I like completely draw a blank. Like you said, I'm like, we watch this? But for best PLE / pay-per-view of the year, oh, I'm sorry. The fan vote for worst was Survivor Series, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. I won't read that card off because it's pretty fresh in everybody's mind.
Like 4 matches on the card, man.
People hate like the Survivor Series.
for no reason either, man. It's not. They didn't do anything. Nothing egregious happened on Survivor Series. Maybe the dance break in the middle of the War Games, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that's the worst pay-per-view. I mean, they've had some stinkers this year. I don't know if I put Survivor Series
Yeah.
at like Money in the Bank. Remember how bad that was?
Yep.
Or like
WrestlePalooza.
WrestlePalooza was bland, yeah. I don't think it
That's
was
what I'm saying.
bad.
Like, Survivor Series was just there. Like, it wasn't objectively bad. Like, but people act. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back and made everybody realize that he sucks this year. And it's like, y'all are just noticing this in November.
Remember how pissed people were at the Royal Rumble when Jey Uso won?
Oh God, yeah. We'll get there later. But for best PLE/pay-per-view for the fan vote, we had a 3-way tie. A mixed bag here. We've got WrestleMania 41. They didn't specify which night, so we'll take the whole pay-per-view. Double or Nothing.
Okay.
And AEW All In Texas. And I'm going to have to take that last one for my pick. For best PLE/pay-per-view, I got to go All In Texas. I don't think any pay-per-view really blew me away this year. But I think at times I enjoy the spectacle. And to see AEW in a big stadium like that, I think it had big fight feel. There were some good matches on the card. I'll run it down in a moment. I'll get your best pick, Ryan. Now, the main event, a lot of people loved it. It did what it was supposed to do, but it's not my favorite just because I don't enjoy that style of wrestling. But I thought overall, the presentation, the whole package, it was a pretty good show, start to finish. And I think it had I think the highest rating I gave out this year was 7.5. And I think I gave that to this and my honorable mention, which was WWE's Evolution.
Okay. All right. So what was your favorite match of that All In show?
Well, do you want? I can go ahead and read down the card for you.
We got 15 minutes that you can read off that whole card.
I'll go quick. The Ops versus Gabe Kidd and the Death Riders for the AEW World Trios Championship. MJF won the men's Casino Gauntlet match by pinning Roddy Strong. Dustin Rhodes defeated Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia. Sorry, it gets a little muddled with all the manager names. And Kyle Fletcher for the AEW TNT Championship. In a tag match for the EVP's title, or Ospreay and Swerve could not have been able to challenge for the AEW World Championship. Swerve and Ospreay defeated the Young Bucks. Women's Casino Gauntlet match, Athena won by pinning Mina Shirakawa. The Hurt Syndicate defeated Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. Timeless Tony Storm defeated Mercedes Moné. Kazuchika Okada defeated Kenny Omega. And Hangman Adam Page defeated John Moxley.
All right.
As far as my favorite match on the card, I wrote down Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné, which was also your answer.
Is that when Tony Storm buff dive on Mercedes Moné? She pulled a Jungle Boy.
I think so, because I think that's the only match they've had, right?
So she pulled a Jungle Boy, Micah?
No, well, you could say that.
I don't know what else you would call it. Did you see? You did. You sent the clip to me.
Yeah, I sent the clip to you.
If nobody else has seen this, I don't know why Sean never thought of, biting Undertaker's crotch during all those WrestleMania main event matches they had. Micah, I don't know why Sean never thought of that, but apparently Okada had Jungle Jack Perry in a tombstone position, and Jungle Jack took it upon himself to take a bite out of, I don't know, the little Rainmaker. Would you call it that, Micah? The little rainmaker.
I like that.
Okay. Oh, you like that?
Well,
Huh?
hold on.
Ain't no judgment.
Whoa.
All right. Well, anyway, man. After he got a taste of it, you see, he wiped his mouth.
Oh God!
What am I supposed to? Is this? Can you imagine somebody walking in while you're watching that, Mike?
Well,
Imagine, I don't know, Sunday choir just walks in your house. I don't know. They're getting something. They're getting borrowing a cup of sugar. I don't know what they're getting. And they walk in while you're
the
watching
kids
that.
come by Christmas caroling. They open the door and that's on in the background. Yeah. I don't know. That's what they do. That's what they do.
That's
on
what
Wednesdays.
they do. Okay, all right, fair enough.
You said Sean, but I wonder why Triple H didn't try it. Because remember, he said he's a lot of buy things, but lingual is not one of them.
Did he mean to say that?
I don't know, but that's what he said. And I quote, he was on commentary. There's a lot of buy things I am, but lingual is not one. Sir, what else could that mean?
Be that as it may, we're live.
Yeah, we're live, fell. So, yeah, I don't know why Triple H didn't think about that. But regardless, best PLE/pay-per-view, Ryan, what do you have?
I'm going to cheat here, Micah, and I'm giving it to WrestleMania 41, but I'm giving it to the last half of WrestleMania 41, and I'm giving it to the first half of WrestleMania 41 Night 2. So, last half of WrestleMania Night 1 and first half of WrestleMania Night 2. So, if we combine that, we get the best pay-per-view of the year. And I think my favorite match of the whole weekend was, the triple threat cinema match where we had would it be a double heel turn that Paul Heyman? He gave Roman the low blow and he gave CM Punk the low blow. And they formed he formed an alliance with Seth Rollins. Really enjoyed that match. And they had some really decent to good matches on the rest of the card. Had Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight was a pretty underrated match for that weekend. The ladies, they did their thing. A lot of people say that was their match of the year. I would not, but there was two really, really good triple threat matches on WrestleMania. And yeah, that was my PLE of the year was WrestleMania first half of night 1 and WrestleMania 41 second half. Or no, flip that. The second half of night 1 and the first half of night 2. That's what I got.
You sure?
I think so. I think I did that. Did that right. I think I said that right. Yeah.
Well, we'll roll with it. No honorable mentions?
NXT Showdown.
That's a pay-per-view?
No, I think it was a special that they had. That was the NXT and TNA crossover episode.
That's right, yeah, because they couldn't do Invasion for other reasons not mentionable on the podcast. Anyways, we moved
hold up. No, you know what? I give it to Deadline. I actually did watch Deadline. I didn't think that you had to drop everything or watch it, but if you got time, and if people are listening, if you got 2 hours to kill, go watch Deadline. Deadline was pretty good.
Actually, I did catch a couple things from Deadline, and I did enjoy it. So.
Yeah. I like that concept of the Iron Survivor. I like that.
Yeah.
It needs to replace War Games next year. It needs to replace War Games.
I completely agree. And it's fresh too. It's actually something I haven't seen before, which is impossible to do in wrestling these days.
Yeah.
Next up for the Scoopy for Best Booker, Ryan, the fan vote was Tony Khan.
Really?
Are you surprised? um,
It wasn't Rossi Ogawa, Micah?
I'm gonna cheat here.
And DPW?
I'm not I'm not giving this award to anybody.
Oh man, vacant. No
Vacant,
chance.
I'll give an honorable mention to 2 people, but I cannot confidently say that anybody had an excellent year booking. Triple H, not even on the ballot this year for the transgressions that he has committed to the current state of 2025 WWE. Can't put him on here. Tony Khan is at least an honorable mention because some things are looking up for AEW. Now, the ratings are one thing, but their houses are getting big. Their pay-per-view sales, as far as tickets go, are getting bigger. So for that, I will applaud them. They got on Max this year. So somewhat I'll give it to them. I feel like the ship is being righted, but at the first honorable mention, like if I had to give it to somebody, I'm giving it to Sean.
Oh, all right. What's your favorite Shawn Michaels book storyline this year, pal?
You know what? We're gonna go with JC Jane losing to Tatum Paxley.
Who they play for? I don't
Who
know.
you play for?
All right, giving it to Sean. Sure, why not?
Well, I will elaborate more on my Sean choice later, but I'll let you go with your best booker of the year.
I'm going with Triple H. I know you can say that Tony Khan. No, I'm going. Yeah. I'm going with Triple H. Yeah, you know you brought up that Tony Khan got them on Max this year. Yeah, well, okay. Triple H got them on Netflix this year, pal. He got them on Netflix. He got SmackDown, a new deal on USA Network.
See,
Man.
I can't give the credit to Triple H for that though, because that's
Oh,
like
now
Khan.
we can't give. Oh, okay. Now we can't give Triple H. We can get that to Tony Khan. We can get
Because
the
he
deal
is
to,
getting the deal.
how?
He's the owner.
Well, Triple H is the CEO, pal.
Nah, go ahead, elaborate.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying that not everything was a complete failure this year. You say what you want about the John Cena retirement tour, but for if we're just going by dollars and cents, Micah, which at the end of the day is professional wrestling, you're supposed to judge success by how many tickets you sell. And a John Cena retirement tour was a universal success in that regard. No, we're not big fans of it, but I mean, he did facilitate this retirement tour type thing. And man, it's not been a bad year for WWE. It's just been bland. It's just been very predictable, very safe, and kind of boring at times, but they're still selling a crap ton of tickets, Micah.
At
They're
a
still
astronomical price.
there you go. And they're still top 5 and Netflix every single week. So I can't say that Triple H has been a bad booker this year because it's not like the company is taking like a hit financially. They're making more money than they've ever made. So as a financial standpoint, you can't say that 2025 wasn't a successful year for Triple H.
Yeah, but well,
I know the TV's been boring, but
yeah,
they're still
that's what
packing
Booker
houses.
is to me.
Booker T?
No, have we went to a WWE show this year? I went to Raw. Did we go to one early in the year?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Okay.
I think last show I've been to is when We got went to Hell in a Cell in
The
Atlanta.
Bad Blood, yeah, in Atlanta. See, okay, so does that say something? We didn't like go out of our way to go into WWE shows.
Well, I
I'm
would
just
have went to
saying.
Raw. Well, I would have went to Raw if I knew Roman was gonna be there. I would have been
Yeah,
there, but he just showed up. Now I would have went.
the Samoans,
But
they love Birmingham.
they don't have any. They do love Birmingham, but they don't have any shows near us, man. If they would have had a show in Atlanta again this year, we probably would have win.
Oh well, yeah, because we got, for lack of better terms, cucked by Saudi Arabia. But we'll get there later. We'll move on to most underrated. Now, for the fan vote, this was a big tie between 8 different people. So I'm just going to read these off quick. Gunther, Jack Perry, Roderick Strong.
Jack Perry was gone most of the year.
Well, yeah.
Right.
CM Punk. Not sure how he's underrated. Lee Moriarty.
What? Who?
Penta. Okay, that one's acceptable. I think this guy meant LA Knight, but he put Logan Knight. So I give a point to Logan Paul and LA Knight. And Sami Zayn. But Ryan, for most underrated, who did you?
Now I'm going Sami Zayn as well. I think he was buried away on SmackDown most of the year, so a lot of people didn't see what he did. But that U.S. Open challenge that he had was really, really solid. He had some good matches, not great storylines, not even good storylines, but he had good matches on SmackDown. So that's why he's winning underrated for me. I thought his matches, I don't know if you've seen the match he had with Javon Evans, Micah, but it was really solid. He being Sami Zayn had a match with John Cena. I think it was John Cena's last SmackDown match, actually. And that was solid. And Sami versus Ilya for the US title was really good. So yeah, Sami's had a lot of good matches this year. Hasn't had a lot of good stories that they told with him, but such is life in 2025 WWE.
Did you have any honorable mentions?
Or underrated? Nah, you pretty much covered all of them. That 8-way tie.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna piggyback off one of the guys that you mentioned. I got Ilya Dragunov, who has been gone most of the year, but came in, has been basically the only watchable thing on SmackDown through the back half of the year. I make a point to check out his matches, and so for that, I'll give it. So I think Ilya is somebody that could use better, but only time will tell. He came back, he put weight on. I think he looks good, and so for me, that's going to get most underrated.
How crazy is that, man? We just tuned in to SmackDown, just watch one match, and then
I
we
know.
dipping out.
I've turned into I'm just here for the matches now. I don't need my stories. Just give me the.
That's all we can look forward to in 2025. Just
Yeah.
I guess good matches, but no
It's all that
stories.
matters to some people. For the honorable mention, you're gonna fry me for this one, but I'm gonna go Thekla.
What?
I'm
Excuse me?
weirdly.
Did you get that clip I sent you the other day?
I did. Okay, that's not the best.
Can we play that? Is that possible? Can we do that on this call? Can we play that clip? Can you do that?
I don't think that it will let me play. Because I don't even know where it is, like in our text message, because there's no telling how far back it is. But
No,
I mean,
just sent it to you 2 days ago.
That's right. That's right. The
Did you watch that?
The collision backstage brawl. I forgot about this.
No, this was. I sent this to you on Wednesday. This was, I guess, in Stardom. I don't know where it was, but it was Thekla and some.
Oh no! I missed this. I don't know why.
Watch this. Hold up. Let's pause. let's pause what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Micah, go watch that clip real quick.
Okay.
Please watch that, and you would change. You would change your answer. I swear to you, this is the most awkward thing I've ever seen in a wrestling.
I rescind my statement. I have no honorable mention for most underrated. I feel like Ryan just sent me an R-rated clip that was supposed to lead. I got the clip cut off because I felt like it was going to lead.
I don't know what were we watching there?
I can't I'm gonna have to cut that out because I was not I opened the clip and it's just F you. I was like, and
it's just people around them making no noise. They're just staring. What are we doing? Are we building up to a match here? What is this? Is this some kind of kink? What is that? It's quiet in the room too, and they get so close. But
so where was this?
I think it was Stardom. But Micah, Thecla's so effortlessly cool. Okay.
Really? Okay, hold on. This is 3 years old.
What? It doesn't change. I don't care if it's 30 years old. It's the most awkward thing I've ever seen.
Oh, dude. Oh, God. The comments.
Oh, God. What is it?
The comments on Reddit kill me. We're in the Attitude Era now, folks.
Oh,
next level banter. This is my favorite. I usually gotta wait till my wife goes to bed. Stuff like this. Oh, that's a good one. God, I love these two. Well, that ended up being unintentionally hot. That one got downvoted horribly.
He said the quiet part out loud, and they didn't like that.
So this is Natsupoi and Thecla saying F you to each other at today's Stardom press conference, and this was...
Why was there no sound in the background? Why did nobody speak up? Why was
it's like a funeral.
Yes, and it's so awkward because they got those loud mics. Just hear them breathing heavy into the mic, saying "F you."
Boy, what an interesting time to be alive with unlimited internet access. It didn't alert me that you sent that to me because I got the one about the girl from Two Broke Girls, and then I got the message about it looked like it was a different mask. But like I did not see that other message for some reason. But we'll get back on track here, ladies and gentlemen. For most overrated, we got the fan vote, which was Jey Uso.
Okay.
Are there any surprise? Is anyone surprised with the way that they turned on Jey Uso in the last year?
He has nuclear heat with the IWC right now, man.
Yeah, it's at an all-time high. It's like somehow gotten worse for some reason.
Yeah. I don't remember people getting heated up at Daniel Bryan with the yes chants. I think just people hate Jay's in-ring work so much that they don't want to see him at all doing anything ever. They like him going back to tag team action.
Yeah. But then Survivor Series, they said, was
I think it's going to be
pay-per-view.
Yeah. And it was getting a lot of heat online, the dance break that he did in the middle.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not on the same train of thought here, but I am going a little outside of the box for most overrated. I'm going to go Triple H.
What? He's not competing.
Hey, we've never specified that it has to be a competitor, but as a booker, this guy was supposed to lead us to the next era of great WWE, and it was great because he was piggybacking off of Vince McMahon's storyline
Oh
with the
wow!
Bloodline.
Oh wow!
And now that he had to pick up the pieces and build the Lincoln Logs by himself, he can't build those cabins. He can't play with the Legos because he can't put them together.
Well, hold up now. I hate to put on my Triple H shield hat, but let's give him a break for this year, Micah, because the storyline, the number one storyline was John Cena's retirement tour, and the start of that was the John Cena heel turn. And I don't know if you watched WWE Unreal, Micah, but if you watched that show, everyone was on board with a plan, and then all of a sudden, nobody was on board with a plan. So they were scrambling and writing on the fly for the number one storyline they had this year. So I'm not gonna hold that necessarily against Triple H. Let's see what he does next year, and then we can draw conclusions. We can maybe round up a buyout in college football terms, Micah, and start looking at the next guy up for a new booker. Maybe I'd nominate CM Punk. I think CM Punk should be
Hey,
booking
I'd
these
like
shows.
that.
Remember
Well,
Collision, man? Remember the first month of Collision? How glorious that was.
oh, it was. That's probably the best TV since we've started this podcast. Like consistent month, like great
Yeah,
TV.
it was. Get
Well,
nostalgic about first month Collision.
mark my words. If it comes around this time next year and it's not different, Triple H is still going to hold the award for most overrated of 20. And as for my honorable mention, I'm going Karrion Cross because I'm not letting
Oh
some of
man,
you out there slide because some of y'all tried to start this We Want Cross fandom and it fizzled out because he's not that good. He seems like a nice guy. I'd really shake his hand. I'd take a picture with him. I respect him. But he did not deserve all the love that he got this year, considering the state of his work. Like there's a reason you're not over, and it's not because of the
it's just Cross though, right? Not
Scarlet
Scarlet.
can stay.
Yeah, Scarlet. All right, sure. She actually, you know what? They should have offered her a contract and let Cross walk out the door. Now that I'm thinking about it, but my most overrated, Micah, and this pains me because I'm a longtime member, I'm a longtime truther of this man. But over the last, I don't know, 18, 24 months, I'm completely off the bandwagon, and I've turned my fan card in long time ago for this guy. But I'm going with John Moxley. I don't think there's a more pushed main event attraction that's work is actually, for lack of a better term, Micah, and you can bleep me when I say this, but his work is terrible. He has those self-indulgent death matches that I hate, and his in-ring work has taken a dip. And the Death Rider storyline has a lot to do with the stinky programming that we had to watch in AEW in 2025 because that main event angle was supposedly his idea, his bloodline, his magnum opus. And now that it's all, we thought it was over. I guess it's still ongoing. But what we thought was the end was that All In? That Hangman beat him for the world title, Micah?
Yep.
What we thought was the end, we can look back on that whole run they had as world champion, and it stunk, drove a lot of people away, and it's done some very long term damage to that program. And I don't know, man. John Moxley, I don't know where he can go from here. He seems so stale. I don't think you can turn him babyface. It would help. I don't think maybe like a year off of programming would help, but I don't even know at this point. It might take 2 years. And I'm being honest. I think maybe he should just jump ship.
I don't know if that would help.
Jump overboard.
There you go.
Okay.
I didn't throw him on here because I feel like I feel like I was repeating myself a little too much with some of these because I'm like percent sure that I've put Moxley on one of these before. But yeah, man, I'm out on him. Like I don't see it, and they've huffed the copium, and they're like, well, the Death Riders actually aren't that bad, and well, this
Oh
is
God.
it. No, y'all hated it at the start of the year, and it hasn't changed. You've just gaslit yourself into believing that it's good because it's the same stuff that he was doing at the start of the year, but you hated it then. People, the nostalgia glasses are one thing in 2026 that we've got to take off, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have got to stop looking back at 6 months from now and be like, well, the heel Cena run actually wasn't that bad. No, it was. If we were complaining about it, was probably bad.
Yep.
So I'm sick of the nostalgia glasses. How did you put it before we went on where I'm sick of the whitewashing about how something was great and it's not. It was never great. And y'all are just again gaslighting. You're like trauma bonding with each other about how bad this. No. The Death Rider sucks. Moxley sucks. And 2025 sucked. But we're powering through this award show together. Well,
Here.
carrying on with the Death Riders, we've got worst feud of the year. The fan vote was John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, but for my worst feud of the year, I'm going Death Riders versus AEW.
Yeah, me too.
For all the reasons that I just said, but one that maybe we didn't harp on, you mentioned it, but we didn't harp on it specifically, was the fact that this feud has never ended. It doesn't like they said, oh well, Hangman's finally gonna dethrone him. He did. They had a tag match on Dynamite 3 days after having the Texas Death Match. Okay, well maybe they're just holding out for Darby. Darby came back. Beat Moxley. Moxley's still here. Burned him, actually. Burned him in a body bag. And I'm 99% sure Moxley TV now.
Yeah, who's there? Yeah.
So at this point, just kill him. Just kill him. Like, that's the only way.
Oh God.
I'm just saying, they've done literally everything else to John Moxley. And they're like, wow, I just can't get rid of this guy. Like, I mean, at this point, we're stabbing people with forks. What's left? You know,
They had
you just start
syringes.
stabbing them with knives.
Well, we've had syringes. We had forks. We've had fish tanks full of water.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Maybe like electric eels. You know, I saw people online fantasy booking that maybe they use piranhas on their matches because that was a death match thing that they did in the 90s. So I can see that happening one of these days. Piranhas.
You know, it doesn't. They know no bounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't genuinely wish Moxley harm. I'm just saying from like a viewer standpoint of a TV show.
You threatened to kill him earlier.
I didn't threaten to kill him. I was just saying like they've done everything else to him and he won't go away. Like in any other TV show, what do? They just kill him. Like I mean, send him away for a year or two. But I'm sick of the feud. For my honorable mention, I did have Cena and Cody. But yeah, man, I mean, like, before people take that out of context, I don't genuinely wish harm on John Moxley.
Yeah, we're just kidding.
I hope people can understand that, but I've seen crazier things be misconstrued online. But in all honesty, it just aggravates me that there's no ending to a storyline. Like they do that with a lot of things, but the Death Riders to me has been the most egregious that it just never ends.
You're gonna get clipped, Micah. You're gonna get clipped
Cease and
of that.
desist.
Just kill him. Just kill him. Gonna be in the AEW subreddit. Crazy Fed Shield podcaster threatens
to kill John Moxley. Oh God, yeah. I don't doubt it.
I might clip it and post it over there. Just stir something up.
Hey, well, my picture won't look as bad as that guy that had people in their basement. So,
Oh God.
at least my mugshot will look better. But no, in all seriousness, just end the feud. I don't wish John Moxley or Jonathan Good
end his life.
Harm.
End his life.
Yeah. Any more harm than he does to himself, because apparently he's completely okay with being jabbed with and everything else. So
that was my worst feud as well, Death Riders, and we've talked about it enough. What's next?
Next up, we've got Best Feud of the Year, the Scoopy. And the fan vote was CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Now,
yeah,
it's interesting, but Ryan, I'll let you go first with your pick for Feud of the Year.
That was my honorable mention, CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and I'll talk a little bit more about one of their promos they had later on, but I'm going with TNA versus NXT. And this was a tough category for me, Micah. And I think I went with TNA versus NXT just because of the spotlight it put on TNA. It got a lot of guys back in the limelight as far as WWE goes. Got the Hardy Boys back on WWE television, technically. It got Dolph Ziggler back on television. He got a huge pop in Madison Square Garden. I wish we could have talked about that show. And lesser pop for one Zack Ryder, but still, it did give us that, and that never would have happened unless the TNA versus NXT feud. And also, by the way, TNA got a TV deal out of this feud. So I don't think any other feud could match the magnitude that feud gave TNA as far as the light it shined on TNA, because apparently they've been doing some good TV over the last 2 years. I can't vouch for it. I ain't watched a lot of it, mostly none. But yeah, man, give shout out to the NXT versus TNA feud, because it done a lot of good for the industry as a whole. And we finally got a proper number 3 on national television. What we've been, banging our hands on the desk right here in front of me, Micah, saying that we need a third wrestling promotion. Now we got one, and let the war begin. Maybe they'll be like our version of ECW back in the early 2000s, late 90s.
I mean, once they go to AMC, I'll probably tune in just to at least check out the first couple episodes, see if I like it. We'll see about some reviews, because definitely if this year keeps trudging on, man, I'm gonna need something different. But for my feud of the year, I went with one that I have drug all year because I'm sick of it, but I literally cannot think of another feud that has even remotely, at least I tune in for. And that was Punk and Seth Rollins. Now, at the same time, have I spent, if I had a Spotify Wrapped, it would probably say how many hours have you spent complaining about CM Punk versus Seth Rollins this year. And it'd probably be about 10 hours or more.
Yeah.
But, there's nothing else there. This was the hardest category for pick, because we've talked about it all year. There are no feuds. There are no big feuds that matter. Things just happen independently of each other. I almost wanted to say the Vision versus the main roster of Raw, but that's a little vague. But I think that's been some of the better TV of the year. But that's really all centered around Punk versus Rollins. So, despite as much as I wanted to get away from it, I found myself coming back to it and it was basically all I had. So,
Well, I tell you that like, a little mini feud that probably doesn't get enough love, but
I think you're about to mention my.
The Gunther versus Pat McAfee program I thought was really enjoyable. It was short, but actually it did its job, what it needed to do, and I was entertained with all the promo battles, and both guys hit a home run in my opinion.
Yeah, that was my honorable mention. So I was like, wow, that's really funny you're about to mention that. Because I feel the exact same way. Like people hated on it. It was like 3 weeks, did exactly what it needed to do. It heated Gunther up, and both guys cut excellent promos. So yeah, it's not going to get praised because Pat McAfee's in it, but yeah, it was one of the more enjoyable things. I don't know if that says a lot about the state of 2025 or if it was just that good, but here we are.
I think it got buried when we did the middies by the fan votes. So,
which is crazy because again, like it wasn't even bad. It's just Pat was involved. That's why people hate it.
Yeah, of course.
I hate that. It's stupid. Call it down the middle. Yeah. Was it a good feud? Yes, that's all that matters. But we move on. Worst gimmick of the year. The fan vote was heel John Cena. And I'm going to second that pick with heel John Cena.
That was the worst gimmick, really?
I don't think that. How's the word I can phrase this?
I would say underwhelming, but I don't know if that's the worst. Like, come on, man. In a world where we have Timeless Tony Storm and Iguana Man, Orange Cassidy, you think heel Cena, where he cut the "You People" promos, that was reason to put him on this in this category? I don't know. I can't co-sign that.
I'm not gonna say that it's worse on paper than like Mr. Iguana or Cassidy or any of those. But in terms of like what it did to the rest of the year and how bad that it fumbled from like an all-time moment, I think that's like underwhelming may be a better term for it, but because it was probably like one of the most underwhelming things in wrestling history, I think I have to put it for worst gimmick. It wasn't even just like unwatchable television. It just wasn't what it should have been, and then they retconned it and made it not make any sense right before the rematch, and it was just stupid. The whole thing was just stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It was very poorly handled. But I was thinking this category was like, somebody walk in on you while you're watching it, you got to turn the TV off. I mean, if somebody walks in on me when I'm watching a John Cena promo when he's telling the fans, hey, it's your fault. And listen here, kid from Lyon, France, you're at fault too. And then they just pan over to the little kid looking dumbfounded. I thought that was some good stuff. I don't know if that's worst gimmick of the year. Like, come on, man. Let's be real here. You know what it's going to be, Micah. The mass hypnosis around this gimmick is going to be studied for years to come. Because I don't know how or why that the basement and the IWC in general have hitched their wagon to old Joel Gertner woman version Tony Storm and enjoy this gimmick as much as they do, but they do, Micah. And I just don't know what to believe anymore because I see the positive comments, but I'm not seeing GOAT level work that they're saying in this. Like people are saying that this is better character work than Undertaker, Micah. People have said this. I'm saying. Oh, go ahead.
I saw somebody say that the Tony Storm character was better character work than the Tribal Chief. Kid you not.
And see, these people are allowed out in public. Micah. I know they probably don't go out in public. Vote. I know they probably don't go out, but the Gooners, it has to be Gooners, right? It has to be.
I think that there is a deep part of these people. Okay, because again, I'm actually going to use something that we already talked about on the show, right? This guy right here that commented on this thread that said, well, that ended up being unintentionally hot. Downvoted into oblivion. Because you, in the back of your mind, without knowing this person at all, you probably think that was a dude that said that, and that's weird. But when a woman says the perverted joke, guys, she's breaking the fourth wall. She's breaking this glass boundary where women can't make these jokes. How about no one can? How about they're not funny? How about, like, there's a reason that we don't have Val Venus characters on TV anymore, but y'all are okay with it when Toni Storm does it. Really? And you can't say that the wrestling was better because she was a better wrestler before this gimmick. There's, like, evidence.
The gooners all around the world, Micah, they want nothing more than to somebody to validate their feelings and to just get people to get on board with their elevated art that they're watching on television. No, it's not just grotesque sexual innuendo jokes. It's actually very clever how she does it. And she does it in a very English posh accent. And that makes it hilarious, Micah. You know, I don't understand. I think that's the appeal. That has to be appeal, right?
Well, have you ever seen the meme where, like, the guy is in the office and he's like a good looking, it's animated. It's like a good,
oh yeah,
and he's like, hey girl, what you doing later? And she's like, oh, nothing. And then, like, this fat guy walks in there and he's like, hey, what? She picks up the phone. It's like, HR, please help.
yeah.
That is what Toni Storm is. Toni Storm is the attractive guy saying, and so it's okay.
Who would be the unattractive guy?
The Val Venus of the world that everybody finds it crude now, and that's not acceptable humor. But the attractive guy does it, and well, it's okay.
They used to really like the penis guy. What was his name? Joey Ryan. They used to like that too.
So it's the same. I don't know, man. I'm not big on comedy and wrestling, anyways. So, like, yeah, DX was kind of riding the line, like, but their whole character, Sean's character was being a male stripper, but it wasn't just like. It wasn't sexual innuendos. It was like, hey, I'm a wrestler, but, like, I know I look good. I know that women want. But at the end of the day, Sean was serious when he needed to be. Not, hey, Chris Statlander, let's lay flat in the ring and cut a promo on each other.
Can you imagine Sean and Undertaker doing that for the lead of the Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, DX was sophomore humor, but again, that was times of the late 90s. A lot of raunchy stuff was happening, and just we didn't have ridiculousness like they do on Collision or Dynamite with Toni Storm. DX never did stuff like that. So, worst gimmick, 2 years in a row, might be 3 years in a row. She keeps on doing it, which I'm sure she will continue to have to endure these unfunny sexual innuendo promos while the basement laughs along, and we just continue to question why we keep on watching wrestling like that.
Yeah, well, she was my honorable mention, but again, I didn't want to be a broken record. I feel like a lot of these are repeating.
Well,
I also had Moxley on there too.
Okay.
Well, yeah, some of these feel like. You ever, like, go home at night when you're leaving work? Some people may not understand this if you don't have, like, a long drive. But if you have a drive home, and somebody hit a skunk in the road and you drive by and you're like, oh, God, that's horrible. And then you go to work the next day, and the skunk smell is like still there because it's still in the road. That's what this year feels like when I'm revisiting. It's just like really like the skunk smell is still in the road. Like you're still doing this a year later. The Death
You're not
Riders is still going on.
you're not having fun, Micah? You're not having
Yeah.
fun, pal?
Did you enjoy the show? But we'll move on for best gimmick. The Scoopy for best gimmick. We've got a tie once again with the fan vote, so I'm just gonna read these off. Again, it's a few people, but we've got Joe Hendry,
All right.
the Broke Bucks,
Come on now.
Mercedes Belt Collector,
What? How is that a gimmick?
the Wyatt
Bro,
Six.
No, hold up now. How many people have had the belt collector gimmick in AEW over the last 2 years?
Well, I know Omega had it, but that was 2021. Didn't Pac have it at one point?
They all have it.
There's so many belts. They're all belt collectors. The Wyatt Six, the Death Riders, and El Grande
Hell,
Americano. Funny enough, El Grande Americano pulled the Bray Wyatt where he got the worst gimmick. He got a vote for worst gimmick and best gimmick.
Well, we don't know which version. I mean, there's many Grande Americanos, Micah. You got how many guys did he got in his stable now? You got 2 other guys. Maybe they were talking about the little El Grande Americano.
They're all the same.
Okay.
If you ask me. But for best gimmick, and again, like I was drawing a blank because I just didn't. I don't know, but I went with Dominic Mysterio. I think going to AAA and proclaiming himself as the greatest luchador of all time, and he's still kind of piggybacking off that great Mysterio of all time. I think he's done some of his best work this year, especially in AAA, and it shows whenever he goes down there because he's freaking Austin and 98 reactions in Mexico. So, yeah, I got to go Dom. I didn't really have another mention, and because I was drawing a real blank. So maybe you can refresh my memory here.
Yeah. I think best gimmick goes to El Grande Americano, Micah. A long time veteran to the game, Micah. Newcomer to WWE, but he was on a generational run for decades in Mexico, as you've seen in those video packages. I remember seeing one of his matches with Blue Demon. I think that was the original Blue Demon. Yeah, El Santo. I know you've seen that match on YouTube. Mil Mascaras, he's had barn burners with Mil Mascaras. And I'm glad to see he's finally getting the spotlight that he deserves. Had a really good year. And I can't wait to see what he does in 2026. El Grande Americano, a legend and the true greatest luchador of all time. El Grande Americano.
I in all seriousness, I don't get why the gimmick gets so much hate. I know because they did the Gulf of, and they used some AI at the. But like, does that really just write off the entire character?
I don't think so. You know what? Judging by the reactions that he gets in Mexico, I think it's just like selective outrage for people online. Because I saw like a actual person that watches like weekly. I don't know if they still run weekly shows AAA, but they're an avid viewer to AAA and they listen to like Mexican wrestling podcasts and stuff like that where they review AAA and CMLL, and they say that it's become like an inside joke for Mexican fans and like hosts of those particular podcasts where they would actually say that they seen El Grande Americano in matches with like Mil Mascaras and Blue Demon and stuff like that. So yeah, I get a kick out of it, and I think that El Grande Americano actually is doing some good work.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't know. It gets a lot of hate online. But speaking of things that get hate on, to
Basement.
the worst match of the year. Now, there's a lot to take in here, and I'll start us off on this one. Or no, I'm sorry, I went first. I'll let you go first this time. But for the fan vote, we had WrestleMania's 41 main event, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship.
Valid. A lot of angry people coming out of that event.
Yeah.
Us being one of
them.
Yeah.
But for your worst match...
Yeah, my worst match, I didn't know which direction to go in, because I'm pretty sure I gave the award for worst match to Cena and Cody for the middies. I'm like 90% sure I did. But I just went with a match that I thought was so stinky and so terrible and so it probably had the worst finish of a match that I've ever seen. I went with Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill. I don't remember what pay-per-view this was on. I think it was Wrestle Dream. I think it was Wrestle Dream or Wrestle Dynasty. Right. One of them wrestle shows. And I just remembered this match, the ending to this match. Micah, do you remember the ending to Eddie Kingston's long-awaited comeback?
No, I do. Because this was my honorable mention.
I just remember that Tony Schiavone had the line of his career when Eddie Kingston set up for that spinning back fist that he does. He did a spinning back fist, he being Eddie Kingston, and didn't hit Big Bill at all. In fact, he was like 2 feet away from Big Bill's head. And Big Bill, of course, a veteran of the game, he sells it, falls down. And do you think they would pick it up and try it again, Micah? Like professionals would do? Well, no. We're going to just pretend like that didn't happen, like we didn't just see that. Like there's not a dozen cameras at ringside and thousands of fans in attendance that saw the botch, and we're just going to go to the finish anyway. But Schiavone said on commentary, "Oh, well, that missed." And then they proceeded to just count to 3.
I forgot that Schiavone said that.
Oh man, that missed. And then it rolls them over.
1, 2, 3.
And he just goes, "Oh." That's it.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah, So see, I kind of felt the same way as you. Like, I went 2 different directions. So my official winner, I gave it Cena Cody for all the obvious reasons. Travis Scott involved was such a letdown. Like, I remember everybody in the chat, because we were live on TikTok. Like, everybody was pissed. There was just no cohesion. But for the honorable mention, I was like, well, I got to get some, because that match was badly booked, but it wasn't like horrible. Nothing looked bad. But Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill was like one of those. It was just bad start to finish. It had nothing to do with the booking. They did not look good in the ring. So
you could go in a different direction here too with the Adam Copeland versus Moxley match, where I think that was the match that Christian Cage cashed in his contract and then he lost the match.
It was.
Okay, all right. You could have went there too, because a lot of angry fans coming out of that too.
Yeah, that one crossed my mind, but I didn't end up selecting it. But getting to a lighter note, we've got Match of the Year. And this is kind of early into the list, but this is a big one. So for the fan vote, they chose Hangman versus Moxley at All In Texas. Now, for my match of the year, this was a toss-up between this and my first honorable mention, but I have two honorable mentions. But all year, I feel like the most captivating part of the year has been the women. And I don't know if it's because I just wasn't expecting, I guess, what happened this year in terms of just how many of them I thought kind of had their best years and their storylines were actually like flowing within the division. It was women having matches for the sake of having them. And so for that, I feel like I had to reward a bit. And my favorite match of the year that I could see myself going back and watching, because it has a great moment, it has a great build up throughout the match, and it tells a great story at the end of a great event. Am I saying great enough? I gotta go Io versus Rhea versus Naomi at WWE Evolution.
Okay.
Any thoughts? I remember you liking this
I
match.
just, yeah, but I'm multi-man out, man. I'm tired of the triple threat matches. I'm tired of the 4-way matches. I'm tired of the 5-way matches. I'm tired of the tag match. I'm tired of the 6-man. I'm tired of all the multi-man matches. I'm a traditionalist, so I do like a one-on-one back and forth battle, but I can see why you would put that as your number one. I personally wouldn't put that in my top 3, but I can see why you did it. So I'm
Well,
happy you enjoyed.
I will say this too, as far as the multi-man match thing goes, it originally was a singles match, remember, because Naomi cashed in. So most of the legwork was between Io and Rhea. But I think the moment at the end with Naomi cashing in really seals this as like a great match. And I honestly don't think there was a ton to pick from. My two honorable mentions was CM Punk versus Gunther at SummerSlam, which almost won. It's just long. It's like 30 minutes. But it also has a cash in at the end. But that wasn't actually a part of the match. And then my other honorable mention was Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY versus Street Profits on the SmackDown before WrestleMania
Yeah, it
or
was a week
after.
before Mania. It was a week before Mania, and then they had another one at SummerSlam.
That's right. So the one a week before Mania tag team ladder match for the tag team titles, I thought it was excellent. But Ryan, what do you have for match of the year?
You know what? I'm just now remembering. I was thinking that you were talking about the match they had at, was that Money? Was that
That's
SummerSlam? They had a
SummerSlam.
3-way. Okay. I was thinking you were talking about that. I The Evolution match was okay. I give you that. You pretty much had my list though, because I enjoyed both the TLC matches at SummerSlam and on that SmackDown. But I'm gonna go with CM Punk versus Gunther at SummerSlam. It had that big fight feel, top notch selling by Punk and Gunther. The blood added on to the drama of the match. Punk finally wins a major world title after 12 years. Micah finally wins a major world title. Major.
I see what you're
Yeah,
going for.
major world. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And you had the,
I'm not
what WWE.
co-signing it, but I see what you're saying.
No, you did. And you had what WWE does best, the cinema at the end, Micah. You had Seth Rollins dropping the crutches and screwing CM Punk out of the world title. I thought that all guys did a great job that night. 5 stars in my opinion, and a great moment to end a pretty good SummerSlam. A pretty good SummerSlam. It was a pretty average SummerSlam. I'll say that.
I again, like, it was a toss up between those two, but I feel like for the work that the women did this year, because we would do these, and I felt like that's what I was most impressed by most of the time. I felt like I at least had to give them the nod, but it's 1A, 1B in all honesty, because I do love that CM Punk match.
Yeah.
But going back down the hill, we've got worst booking decision of the year. For the fan vote, we've got Jey Uso's push.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm surprised that this was a Cena runaway again.
Well, we'll get to our answers, but I'll
How are
let
they
you
gonna?
go first.
Well, hold up. Now, how are they gonna vote John Cena worst gimmick, but not give him worst booking decision?
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Something's not
man,
adding up
that
here.
Jay he is nuclear.
Why didn't they give him worst gimmick?
Well, I don't know. It don't
Wouldn't
really
that make more
feel like a
sense?
gimmick.
Oh, Yeet Man's not a gimmick. Okay, all right.
We've got to put the trademark by that.
Okay. We talked about this many times throughout this whole podcast, but I'm going with the Cena heel turn. In the moment, it was great. Great execution, great visual. The just the chatter around when it happened, Micah, is something that I don't think I can explain, or I don't think that it could ever be topped, at least in the near future. Everybody was talking about that John Cena heel turn. It was everywhere. Longtime fans came back and wanted to see what was going to happen, and it uh, ended up not being a good angle. But it was a lot of moving parts. A lot of guys pulled out of the angle. And I'm looking at you, Rock, and the Travis Scott involvement. And like you said earlier, the sudden drop of the angle a week before SummerSlam didn't help either. But it's wrong place, wrong time. Looking back in hindsight, if this was 2012 and he was cutting those "you people" promos, it would have made more sense. But in 2025, the fans were not against John Cena. So he had no right to go out there and say, "Oh, you guys turned on me." When did they turn on you, John? In 2006? They've been on your
Yeah.
side for 9 years now. But yeah, man, just way too late. And the way that they portrayed it on television was not well thought out, in my personal opinion.
Nah, I agree with you. I kind of split it up. So for the award winner, I'll give it to Travis Scott's involvement in the main event. But my honorable mention was the failure to capitalize on Cena as a whole, which again, like you said, like it was too little, too late. But I think it could have worked if they just didn't go with the "you fans" route, and it was John selling his soul to be the biggest star in Hollywood, and it'll make him a
Yeah,
bigger star to leave with the WWE Championship. Like all that could have worked.
they had it right in front of him, Micah. He didn't win a singles match in 6 years. So what does he do? He calls on The Rock. What does The Rock want? Rock wants Cena's soul. Cena sells his soul to The Rock. He suddenly wins matches. And then bing bang boom, you got your ankle.
Yeah,
And
it's
Cena
such a layup.
yes, Cena changes his attire, Cena changes his music. You could have went back, man. You didn't have to stay that way forever. They could have did the same. They could have did the whole timeline all the way up to SummerSlam. Didn't have Cena turn back babyface. Could did all that, but instead they went with, I don't know, man, a pivot somewhere, I guess, and it just left a lot to be desired. And probably the fantasy booking that we thought in our head about the Cena heel turn, maybe it should have stayed in our head, and we never should have got that heel turn.
Yeah. Well, we've got worst moment of the year, and this may tie in a little bit, but it may not. But we've got a tie between, shockingly enough, the WrestleMania 41 Night 2 main event and Eddie Kingston's return.
What? He was built up to return. Big Bill called him out on television. I was shocked.
I mean, no, not shock. Worst.
Oh, okay. Worse.
I was about to say, we just gave it worst match of the year.
Okay. Was that the worst moment of the year? I can think of a lot of moments that were worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but some people, they say buttholes are like opinions. But for me, I'm gonna go with, and this may be a personal one because I still have a sour taste in my mouth about it. It's gonna be WrestleMania getting pulled from New Orleans to go to Saudi Arabia, no, I'm sorry, to go back to Las Vegas this year, and then they say, okay, we're gonna go to next year.
That's the future of manias, pal. You better expect a lot more Saudi manias.
Yeah, it really has disgusted me, and it's not even like the Saudi, because like I know that is what it is. We've talked enough about that, but it's the fact that like they brought The Rock out to talk about WrestleMania, and then pivoted from it. Like, how did you think that was going to make all fans? Like, we're like 4 or 5 hours from New Orleans, but I was going to make that trip. And so now it's going to be overpriced, and it's back in Vegas for nothing other than the convenience of the shareholder. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm aggravated. And so for that's my worst moment. It really felt like a slap in the face as a WWE fan. For an honorable mention, I'm going to go with AEW. I believe this was All Out, but it was the baby faces not jumping the cage to help Will Ospreay and acting like they hadn't just seen someone climb into the cage 10 minutes earlier.
I remember that, yeah. I think Marina Shafir just climbed it no problem too.
Yeah, but the baby face, like I remember Kenny Omega's out there like, scrambling. Oh my God, what? Like, I don't know. I have an idea. Yeah, it was a really bad visual. I get what they were going for, but just the hilarity and the stupid. Well, see, I'm pretty sure that like in the match, somebody climbed in the cage and or either climbed out of the cage to run away. It's like you just saw it, so it was fresh in your mind, and they just, yeah, I don't know. I can't excuse it. But Ryan, what did you have for worst moment of the year?
Well, you can go with a lot of things. You pretty much covered a couple of my honorable mentions. The WrestleMania main event, of course, night 2 beat dead horse. We won't talk about that again. New Orleans getting cooked. We talked about that. Kyle Fletcher killing Adam Cole probably doesn't get the attention that it deserves because Adam Cole is probably never going to wrestle again. And it's all because of that. Why? I don't care what the fans online say. It is because of that power bomb that Adam Cole cannot wrestle anymore. Adam Cole was very fragile, very, very skinny young man. And he was not built to take that power bomb on the apron. And Kyle Fletcher recklessly powerbombed Adam Cole. History of neck injuries, history of concussion injuries, and of course, Adam Cole gets a concussion. And of course, Adam Cole has to go home. And of course, Adam Cole's back on the shelf, which was new. Probably should have took Vince's offer when Vince wanted to make him a manager 6 years ago, but he wanted to go to the dub and do it for the love of the game, and now he's on the sidelines yet again. That was my honorable mention, Mike. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know whether it's been confirmed or not, but it's a pretty.
Come on now.
I was about to say it's a pretty nasty spot, and then the guy retires a month. Like Goldberg retired Bret Hart on that big boot, and it don't even look that bad. And Kyle, it's pretty rough.
Bret continued to wrestle after that, though. Weeks later, but people still accept that as the end of Bret Hart's career.
Yeah.
But when Adam Cole gets dropped on his head with a history concussion problem, well, if you slow it down, actually Adam Cole hits his shoulder and not his head. No, he hits his head, you goober. But people want to blame. Oh, actually, it was a regular clothesline, which could have happened to anybody. No, 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 you poor sweet soul in the basement. Just watch his head hits the apron, and that's the end of Adam Cole's run. But yeah, that was one of my honorable mentions. And another worst moment is probably Ron Killings just completely abandoning his Ron
Oh,
Killings gimmick in a backstage segment. That was the most egregious thing I've ever seen in the Triple H era because you had so much momentum when Ron Killings came back. He cut that great promo on the commentary table, Mike. You remember that promo? He cut his hair,
oh yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I don't think it'd be a bad idea to put the title on Ron Killings just for like a week or 2 weeks. I was all on board, but it fizzled out, and then it ended in a backstage segment where he said, I don't even remember how they did it. Did he say that he doesn't want to be Ron Killings anymore, or Cena? I don't even remember how they did it, Micah.
They basically just turned him back into a goof.
Just
Like
turned
it
him
was
back into a
like,
goof.
oh,
Yeah,
thanks, my
actually,
childhood hero, John Cena.
yeah. Never mind. My bad. I don't know, something to that effect. And that was it. That was the end of Ron Killings. Yeah, that one that was pretty bad. But Mike, I think the worst moment in all of professional wrestling is probably the Raja Jackson situation. I don't know if we even talked about it on the pod, but just the whole situation with him being Raja Jackson, the son of Rampage Jackson, famous UFC fighter, famous uh, Pride fighter, and his son Roger Jackson I think he was streaming on Kick. I didn't know Kick was still a thing, but apparently it is, and he just got rage baited into shooting on this poor guy in the ring, just unloads on him with stiff strikes. I think he hit him at least 30 times in the head, and nobody thought to step in the ring, break it up until like strike number 27 or 28. Do you remember that situation, Micah?
I do. I don't think we talked about it, but I don't. But I mean, it was really egregious. Like I remember guys that I work with talking about it and being like, "Oh my god!" So, like, just to see all that,
You're rage baited on Kick.
yeah, literally. And then the guy like almost lost his life, and it was just it's one of those things, man. There's always something that happens year. It's a really huge black eye on whether it be the major company's fault or not. It just once again it made it feel like backyard. It's an unpure form of entertainment, and that's really stupid at the end of the day. But that's why you have to limit the idiots you let into a thing like this.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And I'm not even saying like a thing like this you have to let, like, I'm not in it either. I'm saying like there's a reason that the guys are professionals. You don't let some idiot who gets worked run in there and just actually start waylaying on somebody. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
But anyways, we will move on to promotion of the year. Now, the fan vote was AEW by a sweeping majority.
Of
But
course.
Ryan, what was your promotion of the year?
I go WWE. It is still number one, Micah. I don't care how many of the basement dwellers say that AEW's closing the gap. It's not. WWE still is king, and WWE is still making boatloads of money with the product, or whether they like it or not. It it attracted viewers and it attracted live attendance, and that's all that matters in professional wrestling.
Once again, I'm gonna curveball a little bit here.
DPW.
No, I'm gonna go NXT,
Oh, okay.
which is not. I separate them from WWE, even though they're the same umbrella, because one promotion has gotten me to check their product out where I haven't normally checked it out, and that's NXT. So while I've slacked off in my watching of Raw and SmackDown, Dynamite, I have made an effort to tune into NXT almost weekly, and so for that reason, I'll give them the props because everything else is either boring me or there's nothing new, and with NXT, it's not great, but at least it's something new.
Yeah, NXT's it's solid for the most part, man. I still can't get I can't get behind all the bad acting in the backstage segments. But then I saw some comments saying, well, it's developmental. I mean, not everybody's gonna be great on, promos and acting and I hate to use that word too, acting. Or backstage segments. I'm a little more lenient on the shenanigans that happens on the NXT shows.
Well, next up, we've got the award, the Scoopy, for Shocking Moment of the Year. The fan vote, surprisingly, was the Vision turning on Seth Rollins.
That's a
Which was,
solid pick, actually.
yeah, it was pretty shocking, and that kind of caught me out of the field of that pick, because I hadn't even considered that, but it did make me rethink things. But my pick has to be the Cena heel turn. I mean, you talked about it earlier. Front page news. No one
Yeah.
expected it. I mean, I was like legitimately floored, shocked. It was a huge talking point for weeks. Because remember, Cena didn't show up for like 2 weeks after. I
Yeah.
feel like that has to be it. And for my honorable mention, though, I picked Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. Super stacked Rumble. We had plenty of shows talking about who's going to win, and we thought guys, and it was super loaded. And Jay comes out of left field, and I don't think anybody expected that.
No, and I think we picked Punk, but I don't think anybody was picking Jey Uso. That's out. Honorable mention Brock Lesnar. I don't think anybody had him coming back this year. That was a huge moment, huge shocker. People expected AJ Lee to return. It still was a pretty cool moment when it happened. But yeah, man, like you said, it was the Cena heel turn. Everybody was talking about it. It was everywhere, and we talked about it enough on the show. But
Yeah.
very polarizing on this show, man. We keep on award it. We giving it a good award. We're giving it a bad award. Is this our farewell to Cena? This is just the farewell to Cena show, where we just talk about his last year.
I guess it's definitely been interesting. See, and I feel like a lot of people's match of the year, and it was on the fan vote, was Cena versus AJ at, is that Crown Jewel?
Yeah, yeah. It's in Australia. Is it Australia? Yeah.
So I mean, it's been a very
Finisher
polarizing year for John Cena. Yeah, finisher spam. But next up we've got best on promos. The fan vote, I think, is literally the only option for this award. Is CM Punk. And Ryan, who did you have for best on promos?
Well, Micah, I got Mr. Punk because he still is. He's a generational promo guy. Every time CM Punk's on the mic, doesn't matter what he has to say, he's gonna make it entertaining, and he's gonna make you believe that he believes what he's saying. And that is a lost art in professional wrestling. I think his best promo that he had, which I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but I think our awards start from December of last year to November of this year, right?
That's correct.
Okay, well, the promo battle, I don't know if you remember it. I think it did win my middies, but CM Punk and Seth Rollins having a face to face a week before the January 6th Raw, the premiere on Netflix. They talked you into the building. CM Punk had that the best line of the whole entire promo where he said, "I didn't hate the place I worked. I just hated the guy I was working for. But he loved you." And that's such a great line that I still remember to this day. And that was honestly the best face to face promo they had. They had a lot of good ones, but that was the best one, and that was the best CM Punk promo. And of course, CM Punk's going to win the Scoopies. He's probably going to win that category until he steps away from professional wrestling. But yeah, man, best on promos, CM Punk.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think he has largely carried Raw. And he stepped into more of a weekly role in the absence of Seth Rollins. And yeah, I mean, if we're gonna name the Punk Award top 5 promo all time, I could even bump him up to top 3, but I'd really have to lay everybody out and think about their line of work. But we're down to the last 5, ladies and gentlemen. Tag Team of the Year is what we have up next. And for the fan vote, they picked Brodito.
Okay. All right. Sure.
As far as me, this was such a hard one because I legitimately can't tell you who the SmackDown Tag Team Champions are right now.
I think they're the Wyatts still. I think.
And who are the Raw Tag Champs?
Uh, it's not the New Day. It's not the Judgment. No, it's AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They just had a good match against. I think it was the New Day a couple weeks ago. Pretty good match.
That's right. So
Yeah.
I feel like by default, I'm gonna have to pick 2 winners, and I'm gonna give it to Brodito because they were on all the pay-per-views. They were tag champs, I think, for the most amount of time this year. And they were a pretty like center point of AEW. Like they were always on the show. The fans really like them. They're okay to me. They're not just my favorite tag, but if they're on, I don't just turn their match away. But as like a co-winner, I gotta go Charlotte Flair and Alexa because
Okay.
I feel like Charlotte has had a career renaissance in the past like 6 months, and Charlotte and Alexa get big reactions when they come out. And for the
Yeah, they do.
women's tag division, that says a lot about where they are, what they this year. And I mean, I don't tag team wrestling is in such a bad way right now. These were the only 2 that even came to my mind. Like for the honorable mention, I put Hurt Syndicate, and I think they're excellent. I wish I could have put them for this award, but like towards the back half of the year, they just haven't done anything with them. But I mean, really,
Yeah.
if you want to give it a 3-way tie, I would do that as well.
Yeah. I'm holding my nose when I say this honorable mention because I hate one of these guys on Twitter so much. But I go FTR as an honorable mention. And for my number 1 tag team, Mike, of course, it's AJ Lee, Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee. These guys have some good matches together, Micah, and the chemistry, it shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is really good. And AJ Styles is putting on a very underrated 2025 and 2024 because I think he had a pretty good match with Cody last year as well. But
They did.
yeah, AJ Lee, and they are the Monday Night Raw Tag World. Are they the World Tag Champ? Yeah, World Tag Champion. AJ Lee.
I have to check them out. If I'm being honest, I've been so tuned out of Raw
You
that
ain't seen none of their work. Come on.
I have not. I'm not gonna lie.
You ain't seen none of their
I'm a
matches.
lot of things, but a liar's.
All right.
Well, now we move to the female MVP. So this is who's putting the butts in the seat, not necessarily who is the women's wrestler of the year. We have the same award for the men as well. For the fan vote, they picked Mercedes Monet.
What?
But Ryan, for female MVP, who did you have?
Hey man, this is supposed to be box office. Are you buying a ticket if the marquee says Mercedes Monet?
I think
Really?
a certain subsection of people are, but I'm not one
Okay.
of them.
All right. I'm going with Rhea Ripley. She's still the biggest. She's the biggest draw in women's wrestling today, tomorrow, last year, the year before that. She's still the biggest draw. Arguably top 5 draw in all of wrestling, being honest. She still gets massive reactions. Took a step back this year as far as prominent storylines goes. But Micah, to be honest, everybody took a step back with prominent storylines.
Yeah.
So I'm going Rhea Ripley. I don't even got an honorable mention.
So I'm a little
Jade
conflicted.
Cargill. Jade
There you
Cargill is
go.
my honorable mention. Yeah.
I'm conflicted because I really wanted to put Rhea because, like you said, she's probably a top 5 draw in the business, but she's just been hurt a lot this year, or she hasn't really been like a central point of the shows. And I kind of have to go against my cardinal rule here, which is like I really try not to put the same person twice. But I gotta go Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Because she comes back at WrestleMania, wins the tag titles, loses them, then turns heel, kind of revitalizes the Women's Intercontinental Championship, makes Lyra Valkyria like the most interesting she had been, kind of refreshes Bailey as well. Manages to turn her character around, cut pretty good, and I've been a long time Becky hater, but she's cutting some good promos. She had the feud with AJ Lee and CM Punk, and they should have main evented WrestleMania. She's the central point of the War Games. Cut a great promo running down her tag partners. So for me, I think Becky is the one talking them into the building. Like, Rhea's there, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd put in the same category, but Becky's just been here all year. And so I got to give her praise.
I don't know, man, because when you look back, Rhea Ripley was the main event women's title. She was in the main event of WrestleMania for the women's title. One of the main events, she ain't headline show, but she was in the main event of Evolution, which is a marquee pay-per-view for PLE. So sorry, for the WWE women's roster, and she was in a main event storyline for SummerSlam for the women's champion as well. So I don't know if she's taken like complete backseat. She's been a part of major, championships.
I guess
She's
you're
had
right.
yeah, she's been there. She just
It
the
just feels like
stories just ain't
recently
been there.
she hasn't hardly.
I think the gimmick and the character work that Becky has done over the last year has been more entertaining than Rhea, but I still think Rhea is a more popular act at this point.
Okay, we'll have co-winners on that one.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll
that's fine.
co-sign you on the Rhea pick. But
Sure.
we move to men's MVP, which once again, just the guy putting butts in seats, not necessarily wrestler of the year. The fan vote here was CM Punk.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah. It was by a narrow margin, and I'll tell you who in a little bit because he pops up again later. But for me personally, I gotta go John Cena.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's
Whole year's
not.
been about it.
Yeah, it's not really like a big secret. Everybody's buying tickets to see him for the last time. They've promoted it the whole year. I mean, I've had people at my job be like, "Hey, have you seen Cena's doing? Hey, are you watching Cena's match this weekend?" So, like, yeah, this is the guy's. I don't think this is bait
He's, he won worst gimmick from you, and he's won MVP.
and male MVP. How the turntable.
I got Cena as well for all the things you said. The whole year's been about Cena. So how is he not the most valuable?
Yeah, for better or for worse, it's
Yeah,
been about Cena.
I agree. I'm a big Punk guy, but I mean, I can't lie to you and say that the year hasn't been about John Cena.
Yeah. Punk, however, was my honorable mention.
Yeah.
But it's time for the final two, the biggest two of the year. Start us off, Female Wrestler of the Year for the fan vote. None other than your favorite. Toni Storm was the fan
Oh,
vote
come
for
on.
Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Really?
So they say.
I don't get that. Again? How many years is she gonna win it, Mike?
Hey, as long as she keeps making these perverted jokes.
And muff diving her female adversaries.
But for Women's Wrestler of the Year, Ryan,
I got Io Sky, man. I think she's had the best catalog
wow.
of matches. The best catalog of matches as far as bell to bell goes. Honestly, maybe more than the male wrestler of the year. She always puts on a very good performance. The promos are still weak. Her title reign was weak. Part of the reason her title reign was weak because her promos were so weak. So I don't give a lot of slack to Triple H for that. Not so much you can do. But when the bell rings, I don't think it gets any better than Io Sky in the ring as far as a good match. A good match is gonna be delivered if Io Sky is in the ring.
I'm very surprised to hear you say that. And I do agree. I think Io is excellent. I think that this sadly was going to be Naomi's award. But once again, just with everything that happened, I couldn't give it to her. She missed too much of the year. I'm going to go with my pick for female MVP. I got to go Becky. For all the reasons I listed, I think Becky has been like the most interesting female talent this year to me. I've watched her matches. She had good ones with Becky and Lyra. Not Becky, Bailey and Lyra independently and a triple threat. She had a good match with AJ and Punk and Rollins.
What about that Nikki Bella match?
What? Didn't happen. Men in Black, Flash, didn't happen.
All right.
Forget about that one. But other than
right.
that, I think Becky's had a pretty good year. And even you said that she's probably doing some of the best work of her career and in the women's division this year. So, hey, I think she deserves it.
Do you think she's had better matches than Io Sky this year?
I don't.
Or do you
I think
the whole package? You think the whole package makes up for it?
yes, I think the whole package of Becky.
Yeah.
Because Io has probably a better catalog, but I've been more interested in Becky. Like when she's on the show, I'm like, okay, let me tune into this promo. Let me see what Becky's doing.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, there's not a lot. She doesn't have a lot of holes in her game. I mean, she's not.
No.
She's not. She's not Io Sky in the ring, but she's definitely maybe top 3 best promo as far as women's goes ever. So yeah, I think that makes
crazy.
Up. Yeah, I think that makes up for it. I agree with that. You might just talk me over to giving it to Becky, actually.
Well, I like Io a lot too, and like I said, I think Io has a better catalog. It just kind of depends on what you want. But with Becky, I think she also has had good matches because I remember us really liking that triple threat she had with Bailey and Lyra. Like it was match of the night up until we got to Io Rhea and Naomi at the end of the night at Evolution.
Yeah, and the match with AJ Lee and Seth Rollins, CM Punk I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah, it wasn't like a bell to bell classic, but I was there. I was locked in. But for the final award, the final Scoopy being handed out, we'll chapter on 2025. Men's Wrestler of the Year, the fan vote was a tie between CM Punk and a match made in heaven, Hangman Adam Page.
Oh no, he's been quiet this whole night.
What a funny pair to be put together.
Oh man.
But for my Men's Wrestler of the Year, I think that he's had a big turnaround from where he was at the start of the year. Coming back, he had a great program going into the summer, defeating an evil force at arguably the biggest show of the year, maybe the best show of the year, depending on who you ask. He's been all over the show. He's cutting good promos out there. And that's why it's no other than the man, the myth, the legend, the cult of personality himself, CM Punk.
Okay. Yeah. I can't knock you for that. Valid pick. But I think I'm gonna go with the Scoopy for Wrestler of the Year. 3 years in a row, we are going with Gunther. Man, it's just he has no holes in his game. People were not complaining, but people very cautious of him when he got to the main roster, saying that Vince won't like him because he can't cut promos. But he's proven that he can cut a really good, intimidating promo. And his style is a throwback to a style that rarely gets seen nowadays. Micah, he actually sells in his matches. And he's a big, intimidating force. And everything that he does makes sense. Everything he does has purpose. And he's had some of the best matches of this year. I think my favorite Gunther match is him being Gunther versus CM Punk. At Gunther versus Javon Evans. Was that Madison Square Garden too?
I believe so.
That was a stacked card, man. But yeah, that was a really, really good match too. And Gunther versus Pat McAfee is probably it's a match that I will go back to. It was that good, and it had no right to be that good. McAfee's a commentator, but Gunther is just that good at getting the most out of every opponent he goes in there with. And for my 3rd year in a row, Micah, we are going to give it to Gunther as the Wrestler of the Year.
I think my only thing, because he came across my mind, which I didn't have an because I felt like Punk ran away with the. I just felt like Gunther wasn't here enough to me. He had a he had kind of a shaky.
He took a couple months off. He took a couple months off, but he was there.
I mean, I know he had kind of a shaky program with Jay. I won't put Gunther, but he did have an excellent segment where he choked out Jimmy. That was great.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah. But he's had some good promo battles with Pat. He had that good promo exchange with Goldberg, of all people. And I don't even think we're looking at this. We're not giving enough credit to Gunther. Is going to be the last match of Goldberg. Retired him. He's going to be the last match of John Cena. And if you read the dirt sheets, Micah, it's looking like he's going to be in one of the main events of WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar. So just a hell of a 12-month span that Gunther is going to be on when it's all said and done. Like we could possibly be looking at Wrestler of the Year 4 years in a row next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was AJ's last opponent too.
Yeah, I mean that's the new legend killer.
Yeah,
There's a reason why all these guys want their last match to be with Gunther. He's that good.
that's true. I mean, and I thought Gunther had a good year when he was here. Punk's been here. He's cut the promos. He's a 2-time champ this year. He's ending the year as champ. And I think it's a complete career revitalization for a guy that was damaged goods 2 years ago. That's what they told me, at least. They said he was unworkable. You couldn't do anything with him. He was going to do it his way or the highway. And
he wouldn't make it 8 months in the Fed, is what I was told.
And I think we're, 13-ish years removed from the last time he probably got Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, how crazy is that? You know, he spent more time in this latest run in WWE than he ever did in AEW. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I thought his AEW run was excellent, but it just it goes to show, man, that like people don't really know what all behind closed doors, because they said all these things about Punk and he goes over to WWE and so some people don't like it, some people think he's turncoat, but that's not for me to decide. All that's for me to decide is the Wrestler of the Year, and that's why I've got to go with the cult of personality himself, Mr. Phil Brooks, CM Punk. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been 2025. Once again, thank you for all. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will be back next week for the final regularly scheduled program. We're going to review.
You want to do predictions real quick?
Let's put them out online. We'll save it because we kind of went long for the award show. But tune in to our socials for predictions, and then we will do a live stream this weekend for the John Cena's last match, barring any kind of technical difficulty. Make sure you come find us. Like I said, the link will be in the description of this episode where you can on TikTok. Is there anything else I'm forgetting, Ryan? Maybe 6 will be better.
Yeah, hopefully we'll make it to the end of 2026. We'll have our 3rd annual. I don't know.
4th.
We'll have another Scoopies next year. So yeah, take care of yourselves and each other, and have a good one.